Spirit. It's everywhere. Are we able to communicate with them? What can they teach us? Welcome to Schooled Thru Spirit. Host DeEtte Renee is a certified psychic medium and master teacher of psychic and mediumship development through LWISSD. DeEtte was born knowing spirit and now is here to help you better understand the spirit world. Now, your host of Schooled Thru Spirit, DeEtte Renee.
Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome to Schooled Thru Spirit. I'm your host, DeEtte Renee, here on WLKT. I can't even say it. WLTK-DB.com. Oh my gosh, I don't think I've woken up yet. This is a short show to explore different lives, their journeys, and how spirit has impacted them. Now, we will be talking to different people of different modalities of spirituality, and others have just found that spirit really impacted their life. Now, each week I do usually have a little something I talk about that spirit gives me, and then we go on to my guest. Well, this week we're different. Why? Because this is my reading show, and this is when I bring Missy Hart in, and we're going to do that in about 15 minutes or so. And me and her do the one, we just batter back and forth. We have a great time. Oh my God, guys, my phone is doing auto text as I talk, so I need to shut up. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to do one question readings today, and it's going to be amazing because, you know, it's me and Missy do. We just love to do it. This is our lives. So this week, you know, or this show is all about that. I cannot talk and text at the same time. I would be an awful driver and texter at the same time. Can't even seem to read and talk at the same time today. But anyway, I just want to welcome everybody back. I hope you guys had an amazing Christmas, amazing holiday season. I know I did. I'm always up for, you know, getting together with family and friends and all that wonderful stuff. Now, I sat there and I had to really thought New Year's Eve because I used to be a person in my younger days um, where I would get dressed to the hilt. And when I'm talking about dress to the hilt, New Year's Eve was my pamper me day. And I would go out, and this is before I got my nails done on a regular basis, which they're getting done today. But I would go out and get my nails done and my hair done, and I would have bought already a nice gown. I was a gown wearer on New Year's Eve. I mean, I was going to be the belle of the ball every year, and I can't tell you how many floor-length gowns I have that I would wear out. And I'm talking strapless, sparkly, whatever I felt like that year, that's what I would wear. And it was me. It's what I did. And nobody else did it. It was just a me thing. I think I thought I was being a trailblazer, but nobody blazed with me. It was just always me. But I had a blast. I had just the utmost blast. And that's how I brought in the new year every year. Well, it's changed a lot. I don't go out drinking anymore. You know, I have a saying, I only drink in Mexico. Well, Mexico, Punta Cana, Ireland, you know, if I go on vacation, basically, and it's got to be out of the country on vacation, really before I start drinking, because it's just not something I do anymore. You know, it's whatever. But you know what I do? I go out and I get a pie of sorts, usually a French silk pie. This year I went with lemon meringue. Don't ask me why I changed it up. I only ate half a piece, but went with that, and I spent it with the grandbabies, and it was amazing because we had 2 New Year's Eve celebrations. Mom had to go to work, so we had one at about 7:30 before Mom had to leave because, you know, we had to celebrate the ball dropping with Mom. And we had the party hats and the party whistles and just having a blast, and 4-year-old and 2-year-old running around the house just celebrating, screaming, Happy New Year. And the baby going, happy, 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 because that's what he says. And then we did it again about 10. Why? Because the 4-year-old was going to sleep. 2-year-old outlast. 2-year-old made it to almost 11:30. But we had treats and treats and treats. I should say they had treats and treats and treats. I sat there going, oh my God, how can you eat that much sugar? But it was so much fun just to ring in that new year in just such an amazing, special way. But it made me kind of reflect on my life and how much I've changed. It really has. Now it's obviously no secret to anybody. I mean, I started making New Year's resolutions a few months ago. And that's one thing that started to change with me. Is because I would look at every year, and I don't know if you do this, every year I would look at New Year's Eve and I would think of all the resolutions, all the things I was going to change. Always my weight. Even when I was really thin, I thought I was fat. So I always thought I will get in shape or I will lose weight or I will, for a long time it was I was going to quit smoking or I was going to quit, doing this or that or whatever it was going to be. I would always make these resolutions. And like most everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people, they would be gone in a blink of an eye, like gone. I mean, like if I got through New Year's Day, I was doing really good. I was doing amazing. Um, so this year, I thought, you know what? And I thought about this a few months ago. I thought about I last year, New Year's Eve is when I thought about this. And I thought I was going to start making better choices, better healthy choices, so that by New Year's Day, my resolutions would already be in effect. I wouldn't have to worry about that struggle or disappointment of, oh my God, what is going to happen with me? So I literally started this just like the weight loss journey some months ago. And I'm sure you guys can notice by now, which is awesome. And I'm really happy. And I'm halfway to my goal weight, which is super exciting. So now when New Year's Day hit, all I had to go is, oh, wait a second, I've already got this going. All I got to do is keep the momentum going and keep my walking going and things of that nature, drinking my water, all that. But I also made some other resolutions, For me, it was more of a reaffirmation, a more of a commitment to spirit and to my work and to me. And what's that mean? It means that I'm going to and have been putting up more boundaries for myself. And what's that mean? It means, you know what? I'm going to set, I'm setting up times for myself that I need to work throughout the week. It meant I gave myself a raise. I have never given myself a raise, guys, since I started doing this work, since I started working for Spirit and doing readings, full time, full time. I have not given myself a raise. I did that, and I did that like a week ago. I went, you know what? I deserve a raise. That's something for myself. Prices of everything else have gone up. Cost of living's gone up, w- everything. Everything has gone up. And I thought, you know what? It's time for me. So I gave myself a raise, a cost of living raise. That was a huge thing. But again, it's a commitment to myself. It's saying I'm worthy of something. I'm worth something, not something I always did before. Okay. But me going into this new year is about myself. And that's not being selfish. Okay. Because that's one thing I've had a hard time with is like, if I do for me, does that mean I'm being selfish? And I realized not. I'm not because I have to take care of me. If I don't do things, I can't take care of myself. I can't help others. So that's one resolution that I've made for me is that I am going to take care of myself. One of those things was giving myself a raise. Gotta blow my nose. Hold on. Oh, it's a Monday morning thing. I'm telling you, everybody. And I think by now you guys are used to me blowing my nose, because it's every Monday morning. Oh my gosh. All right. All right. Um, so basically that's one thing. And you know what? I want you to understand that maybe take some time for yourself. And it's really beautiful because I'm also finding that I'm looking at other people and seeing, longevity and things and maybe how they work or what they do. And I'm seeing, that being humble is also another beautiful thing. And being humble is something I think I've always been pretty good at, but it's one thing I want to get better at. Okay. So it's being humble in the work, always being gracious, always being grateful, always standing in a place where I say, you know what, thank you, because I cannot do this by myself. Okay, I can't. This work, you know what, I am finding takes a team. It's just not me. Now I always tell people they'll look at me, and this is not bragging. People will look at me and go, oh my God, you are so good at what you do. And I laugh back and I say, no, not really. I have a mouth. God gave it to me. And once he gave me a mouth, he didn't give me a shut off switch. So I don't know how to stop this thing from shutting off. And then he went, oh my God, what are we going to do with that thing now? We can't get it to shut up. Nobody's going to want to talk and listen to her all the time. So he said, let's give her the ability to talk to the dead. Let's give her the ability to talk to spirit. That way she'll always have somebody to listen to her. And you know what? And that just makes me feel like, okay, here you go. And I get to go on, and I get to go on with this journey that I'm blessed to have. And it's a beautiful blessing. And I also have to realize that it is a team, because at the end of the day, I can't do this by myself. I get to show up. I get to show up. That's what I get to do. I get to show up. I get to be able to have, go through a contract of saying, I'll open my mouth. I'll be here. Whatever you need me to do, I will be here to bring a message through. But it takes a team on the other side. It takes guides. It takes spirit. It takes the people that have passed away. It takes, a higher power, which for me is God, but for somebody else might be something different, that gave me the abilities, these abilities. And I will never say gifts, but these abilities, because I'm not gifted. My gift is that I get to do this for others. That's where the gift work comes in. But to be gracious for that and be grateful for that. And I will tell you what, it also takes a team on this side, I'm finding out. So another thing I'm going to be doing throughout this year so that I can help more people is I'm going to be doing the best I can to bring a team together for DeEtte Renee. And DeEtte Renee, yes, is my name, but it's also my business. Okay, DeEtteRenee.com is my business. So bringing together a team. As you know, I have the radio show. I have a producer, Todd Bates, who's amazing. He's also the gentleman that does literally my website. And he does everything when it comes to anything of updating that, keeping that on track. He posts things every place for me, and he's just amazing part of this team. And I'm part of, grant you, it's just, guest on here and there, but I've been brought in a few times to guest on another team that's been beautiful. So they've taught me how to be part of a team, and I possibly might be bringing people together to help within my own school that of classes that I teach. I'm joining other teams and just making my team bigger with a resource bigger and bigger, which is phenomenal. And it's amazing. And it's knowing that for myself, this is goals. These are places I want to go. These are things that I want to do. I want to travel more. I want to do more events. I want to be all over the place. So to do these things, you need a team. So that's another resolution for myself, is to bring together a team in order for me to get those goals, to be able to get out there further. Now, some people will go, oh my God, that's pretty huge. That's big. And it is. But these aren't things I just thought of in my own mind. These are things I sat down and had to take realization on. Excuse me for the coughing. Because Spirit has come to me through many, many different sources and said, this is what you're going to be doing. So I have to sit back and go, okay. And this is my year that I'm making a resolution to literally sit back and follow Spirit and literally do what Spirit asks of me, and listening. So even with the raise I gave myself, it wasn't because I sat down and thought I deserve this initially. That's not how it started. It literally started with Spirit coming through some months ago and said, guess what? You need to do this for yourself. And I went, no. It took me months to realize they were right. It took me months to realize that and listen. So my resolution this year, the one that I started January 1st, was to be more gracious, more grateful, and to listen to Spirit and go forth with that. And it's something that I have been blessed to do. I am looking forward to doing. And I'm really hoping that you guys are doing some of this for yourself also, because this is growth. And whether your resolution comes at the first of the year or the 6th month on the 1st, it's okay. It's about growth. It's about standing on January 1st every year and looking back at where you've been over the last year and doing a projection of where you want to be next January 1st. Okay? I hope you enjoyed that little discussion this morning because I don't really know how it started and where it went. So I hope it made sense because I'll have to watch the replay and listen. But we're going to take a quick break right now. When we get back, I'm going to have Missy Hart with me here with DeEtte Renee on Schooled Thru Spirit with WLTK-DB.
Looking to launch your new masterpiece? Then try something new with Moonbow Publishing and Production. At Moonbow, we have a strong desire to serve authors in a powerful and meaningful way. After all, you poured your heart and soul into your writing, and we fully understand and respect that. Remember this: you will own the copyright to your work. You will have the final say on your work before being published. Even after all of that, we've saved the best for last. We won't take a percentage sold. Nope, not a penny. Excited about MoonbowPublications.com yet? We thought so. Take advantage of our company's services like book editing, formatting, and covers, publishing, and photography. Moonbow Publishing and Productions has everything you are looking for in a company. Remember, we will not keep any commissions. We are a boutique publishing company focusing on spiritual, health and wellness, and personal growth genres. Moonbow Publications and Productions, a new kind of publishing company.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Schooled Thru Spirit. I'm DeEtte Renee, your host here on WLTK-DB. Missy is coming in. We're having technical difficulties with StreamYard. Don't ask me why. I guess it is what it is. I am literally, because I always sit here and I shuffle cards, and I'm looking at cards I haven't looked at in forever. Because when we do one card readings, the only time I use my cards, and I counted it like 17, 18 decks the other day, which is really crazy. But I own all these decks, and it's just pretty cool to have all of them and to look at them and use them. So what I honestly do is I kind of, when we're doing one card readings, I sit here and I go, okay, so should I use cards? Should I not use cards? So maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know. I'm just kind of looking, and if I do, which deck would I want to use, you know? So I'm kind of asking Spirit today. So I think I might pull out a couple of decks. One will be Colette Baron reads the Goddess Power deck. I don't know. I'm going to show you that really quick. Okay. Because obviously I can't do one card readings until I know I'm hooked into Facebook and I'm seeing it come through. So I don't even know who's there yet because my producer is working with Missy is in. Get your butt in here, Missy. I just said, Missy's in. Get your butt in here. You look amazing, woman.
Well,
look at
thank
you. All
So-
decked out and beautiful. Well, you're beautiful every day, but.
Oh, so are you.
Oh, well, thank you. Ah! I haven't opened up cards in forever. Some of these decks.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I've got mine handy dandy here.
You know, so I thought, why not? You know, because not that I pull them a lot, but I thought, you know, we never know. Sometimes we do that. Sometimes we don't. So
Right.
I'm looking at different decks. I'm bringing out ones I haven't rolled out in forever. Like forever. Like, look at this one. I'm going to pull out the Heart of the Fairy Oracle.
Ooh.
It's a cool deck. And you know what? He's got this guy, Brian and Wendy Fraud. They have two decks, two fairy decks. This guy is amazing because, let me show you. I'll bring in some of these pictures. Like, here's one. There's one of the fairies he draws.
Oh,
You
wow.
see all the other fairies in the pictures?
I do.
He claims, and I believe him, that he made the deck because the fairies came to him and they wanted this. So they actually came to him and like this lady they tell him what the cards are about, and somebody actually draws them. So these are the actual images of the fairies on them,
So
which
it's
is
all
really
like
cool.
just channeled information.
Yeah, well, no, they actually like 3D, like a little fairy do 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 sits and talks. Like do do
Whoa.
do. It's awesome, yeah. And it's really cool. And he tells all about it in his original deck that I can't find for the life of me. I have no clue where I put it. I'm gonna, and I bought it years ago. I'm gonna have to go buy it again, because it was one I just loved. So, but I think it's cool. I mean, I believe in fairies. I'm not a self-proclaimed. I really am a fairyologist. I don't know if this is a little unknown fact about people. I am a certified fairyologist because before Doreen Virtue
What? What?
flipped, before she flipped, she offered a fairyology class. And I was, I think, the first person to sign up. I went, me. And I will tell you what, it was awesome. It was amazing. I wish more people would have taken it and admit to taking it. And maybe if we did, maybe she wouldn't have jumped ship.
Girl. Okay, so let me say this because I never, ever, ever watch TV. And the other night, 2 nights ago, I decided to try to find something to watch. And I saw this documentary about John of God. Now, I was kind of like just in thinking of Doreen Virtue and why she flipped and all of that kind of stuff. Do you know the John of God story? So basically, John
A
of God is
little
this.
a little bit of him. Somebody's actually taken my picture and my name to him twice.
Wow.
So I know.
Okay, so John of God
I know
is
he's
this
in Peru.
amazing.
I
Well,
know he does healing. I know he does trance work, and I know he sits in
right.
meditation for like ever.
Well, he
So
just got into a lot of trouble
did
for
he
a lot.
really?
He girl arrested. There was all of this like really bad juju. I'm not going to go into the whole story, but they found all of these young women. He had all of these young women there, and they were basically baby factories, and they were selling these I know, DeEtte, they were selling these babies. So,
Oh my god!
oh, yeah.
Oh my god!
So I'm listening to this documentary. I'm kind of watching it, and he did such amazing things.
Yeah.
This man, the healings that he performed, this one lady had a tumor like in her brain, and they told
Mhm.
her there's nothing that we can do for you. This is it. And you're talking thousands and thousands, maybe millions of people. Who knows?
Yeah.
This man. So he literally stuck scissors up her nose and like turned them 21 times, performed this
Mhm.
surgery, and this tumor or whatever came
Mhm.
out of it. Anyway, the
Yep.
stories are incredible.
Oh, I have
He
friends, like I said, have gone there, and what they've told me has happened is like
Nothing
it's
short of a miracle.
every time, and they've gone there a few times. Like one lady I know, a friend of mine, I won't say her name, but amazing, went there, and you have it's quite a process when you go there, because it's how they state it is like you go there, you got to go through like ceremony, whatever, and you basically sit in this room for hours in total silence before you're kind of brought into him, and you still sit there in silence. Can't remember. Basically, you can opt for staying there to have psych surgery or going back to your room and letting what spirit do it. And I know both times, she has opted to go back to her room, and then you go back to your room and you sit there for hour. You lay there until the next day, basically. And she's like, you go to sleep and you never know what's going to happen. And literally, she's been woken up in the middle of the night by spirit, like severely working on her, major things happening.
Yeah.
So it's like
Well,
mind blowing.
the John of God story actually made me think of Doreen Virtue
Ah, okay.
in the way that, like, did she, I don't know what the timing of everything was, So it's
Right.
like, did she start to freak out because of things like the John of God thing or what? I don't know. It was just
I don't
something
know.
interesting. So when she flipped, I was like, okay, well, maybe, like you try to find these reasons why. And then the John of God thing just kind of hit my brain. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Right. Right. And you know what? I would love to know. And that's one of those big questions I'm going to have when I die. I'm going to go, what happened to Doreen? It really will be. And I know it shouldn't be something I should be thinking about, but it's kind of like what happened to her because, I personally believe, and this is my belief, that nothing she did was against God or Jesus or whatever you want, wherever you want to put it. I don't believe it was. So it's kind of like, why did she jump ship? Why did she all of a sudden like denounce everything and go a separate way? I don't know. So I guess when I get there, I'm going to ask Jesus personally and go, oh my gosh, what? Why? I don't get it. So
Yeah,
I
I
don't know.
don't think it's, I mean, and that's something that I've grappled with actually. That's something that I've been like, okay, am I, being deceived? And now, like, TikTok is actually, they've got a lot of people on TikTok saying that, this stuff is bad. And, so we're kind of getting back to that here lately. And
Yeah.
I've really done a lot of soul searching. Like, is this somehow not a good thing? And I can't find the bad.
No,
Now, people can certainly go that direction with
they
it, I
can.
believe. But
Right.
I think that's true.
I
True for
think
everything.
I think it also is because I'll tell you what, I was talking a little bit before you got in here that I am, I have been all about gratitude for a long time, but I'm really taking it to the 10th now, to the 10th. And, before every reading, and I've been doing this for a few years now, before every reading, I say a prayer and I don't say it in front of the people because it's my own personal prayer. It's
Right.
my prayer to say thank you and thank you for blessing me and giving me this. And I give it back to him. I give it back to source where it comes from, so that's my own thing, so I can't myself see anything negative either. I can't, you know, um,
I can't find the negative within myself or like your work.
yeah.
And like I've seen it. I mean, it does exist. I think it's important. Like, okay, like all these people who are jumping on our Facebook, threads all the time. Get a
Yeah.
reading. We'll cast spells. We'll do this. Well, that's
Yeah.
some bad juju.
That's
Like
bad juju.
stay away from the people that make you. I
Yeah,
don't know.
and I will tell you guys, you will see that today. You will see that you'll find, and Todd will do his best to like delete and block, but they just come back with a vengeance. And then after this, I don't know about you, Missy, I will have people start cloning my Facebook profile, and I have to put up there several times like this is not me. I don't troll the internet looking for work. That's
Or
not me.
money.
Yeah, or
Or
money or
yeah.
anything like that. Please don't give your credit card information, because that's all they want, and please don't go there. But I do agree with you that I think that's where you get false prophets, you get false information, you get naysayers, and it's really sad because in the United States, and this is someplace I'm going to go because I wish it would change, and I'm looking forward to the day it's going to change, and I know it's going to change. But with United States will get a quote unquote type witching law, where that people like you and me are governed, and every other country has it. Canada has a witch law, UK does, all these other places have it where we're governed. And it's not to say, oh my God, they're going to slap a bunch of rules on us. It just means that, hey, you can't do BS. You can't do bad juju. You can't lie. You can't make it up. You're either the real thing or you're not. And if you're not, don't do it. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to that day because I think at that point, these people that troll on the internet might go bye-bye, you know?
Oh, it's
So
gotten ridiculous. And like
yeah.
they've spoofed my page. So they actually use my pictures, my videos, my content, everything.
Matter
And
of fact, we have one right now, honey. We have Benjamin Jacob. Do not look at him. He is literally naming people that have commented and stating, I am blessings be upon you and your family. I'm a psychic reader and I'm drawn to you by the universe. Kindly inbox me and send me a friend request or message me privately if you're interested in a reading. Do not go there. Do
we're
not
giving
go
readings. You don't need to go
there.
there.
Yeah, Benjamin.
But use
No,
discernment. Use
it's real.
discernment.
Yes, please do. And Benjamin, get your fraud ass off our page. You are a fraud and you've been called out. You are a fraud. So, and if you feel you need to go someplace else to get friends, go to the library. There's lots.
So I enjoyed your conversation about
Did you?
I was having technical difficulties, but yeah, your conversation about the new year.
I have no clue what I said.
My New Year's Eve, you were just talking about, giving yourself a raise and how you celebrated and that kind of stuff. And so I'm actually looking forward to giving people readings and focusing on the year ahead and, what's in store for people. I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
I had a lame New Year's Eve. Like
Why?
plans it was just lame, and it was okay, but like plans changed. A lot of my family members are sick, so our plans went from like plans to no plans. Not that they were big plans, but it was just, it was a want day.
Oh,
I know.
I know.
It was good though.
Yeah, I spent the day in my jammies and just
Me
had
too.
class with babies all day.
I love jammy days. I love them. So I did have a jammy day, but
I had a jammy week. I won't lie. I had a jammy week. I went to Hayward, and I don't know about you, but I know I've seen a lot on Facebook. I've seen a lot of my friends. And I should have probably gotten a hold of you because I know you were probably going through the same thing. But when you get that transitioning feeling, like just the energy stirring, you don't know what's going on. You're like,
yep.
"Ugh." And it doesn't happen to me too often, but when it does, I take this flight to Hayward. I escape to Hayward. That's my happy
I
place.
grew up going there. I love it.
Oh, it's my happy place. And it's so funny because I have an amazing friend up there. And when I lived with her, I was going through a major transition because I lived up there. I lived with her. I was doing all this stuff. And it was so funny because I was destroying myself mentally, emotionally. And she's like, and I'm like, I just want a freaking tree. And I tried making makeshift tree on my ceiling. I just had vines up there. It was really pathetic is what it was. And I went to work one night and I came back and she had been painting this beautiful tree in the corner of my wall, and it went up in the ceiling. And then we put all this greenery up there and we hung like crystals and fairies and everything. So it's like this huge tree in the corner. And I've been away from that house for, I moved out 5-6 years ago and the tree still exists. It's morphed, but it still exists. So I had heard from Spirit, you need to go to Hayward. Okay, I was talking to her on the phone. I'm like, I'm here and I got to come up there. Apparently you need me. I don't know. I'm like putting it on her. And she's like, okay, cool, whatever. So we planned this day, get up there. And I no more than get up there. And my whole body went,
yeah, energy down, energy down.
I went, oh, this was for me too, huh?
I've been feeling that same way. Just tired. Ugh.
Yeah, it's been awesome. But it was jammies and transitioning and understandings and clarification. It was awesome.
I have spent a lot of time reading and looking at numerology. I've been doing some forecasting for the year and stuff these past few days. A lot of fun.
That. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love new modalities. We talked a little bit. I don't do numerology. I mean, I can cheat sheet and understand them.
Sure.
I can. And I'll tell you, this is why I don't do numerology. Straightforward. Back in the days of dabbling, back in the days of, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
We dabble.
I dabbled a lot.
And everything comes into us. I was taking a written communication class in college when I was going to school to be a nurse. And that was my year that I was dabbling in everything. You know what I mean? So every speech I did had something to do with something. And literally I was doing numerology at one point. So I had to do this whole I think some sort of a speech. I don't remember what it was, but I thought I'm going to do a numerology report for everybody. And this is before you could put some numbers in a computer and they just generate it and hit print. No. You know where I'm going.
Well, I mean, I'm just assuming that got really big.
They had computers. I did not have one. I literally handwritten and then hand typed everybody's report, including all their pinnacles. I'm talking a full numerology reading for everybody. There was like 30 some people.
Oh gosh, girl. That's a lot of focus.
Not everybody went, oh my God, you were so dead on. This is so awesome. But after I did that, I figure I did enough for a lifetime and I was never doing numerology again.
I love numerology. For me, it's the perfect tool to really get to know yourself, to get to know, maybe what's coming home. But to me, it pulls in all of those things that you need to be aware of about yourself. And that's why I use it. And I don't have the patience for astrology. I love astrology, but casting charts and stuff is not my thing.
Nope.
No.
Me.
No. So I go to numerology. I'll just say, like, so we're actually 2022 is this 6 year. So
Okay.
do you mind if I do this?
No,
I'll give
please
people
do.
a little
Please
like
do. Yeah.
glimpse into 2022 and what that might mean for you. But as a collective, as a whole,
You know what? Do you want my numbers and you can just do it for me?
oh well, girl, give me your numbers. But
Oh, you know I'm going to. You know,
let me
because every time I
get.
have Kelly on, I never have a chance to give her my numbers. You know what I mean? Everybody's just
Oh,
like,
well, I am no numerologist. I can give you baseline things. I've been looking into this for a little while, like I said, trying to forecast a little bit for this year because I feel like things have just been odd for probably everybody. Not, I mean, just life just seems odd these past 2 years. And so I'm kind of looking for, do we have an end of the odd? You know, what's like being birthed from all of these things and that kind of stuff. And so we're in this 6 year, which has everything to do with our visions and our acceptance of not only ourselves but other people and that kind of stuff. But this year, for every person out there, it is so important to, you know, really obtain your vision. What is your vision for yourself? What is your vision for your family? What is the vision for your home? What is the vision for your work? What is the vision for your community? I mean, really, like, we need to be focused on our vision for those things and then taking those steps to kind of get to the vision that we are holding in our hearts and our minds. And so this year really turns into being very aware, but also being very active in pursuing those things that we want to see. So this is like a be the change year. Like, you have to be the change, right? And so I think it's going to be an interesting year to see how it plays out. And as I was looking, the first few 3 to 4 months actually they didn't look terrible, but they didn't look the greatest either. But it was like midsummer or so, there looks to be this weird little shift in the vibe and a little shift in the energy, like in an upward kind of a trend. And so it'll be very interesting to see like what the heck happens.
right. Oh, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait, honestly.
Right. Oh, the other thing. Okay, so I use all of the numbers. So
okay.
we're in a 6 year. So we have, you know, but 2022 we have the twos and the zeros, and
Mhm.
so that two is really about finding balance within yourself and then cooperating with other people, which I find to be like very interesting, just given where things have been for the past couple of years, and so, you know, maintaining this balance and cooperating. So it's like kind of getting back to, I don't know, like understanding where people come from, being empathetic, compassionate, that kind of stuff. But that zero is actually all about spiritual gifts. And this is so important for people to really rely on their faith. And this is the perfect year to grow your spiritual gifts, but also to rely on these spiritual gifts. Now, you know, keeping in mind that your spiritual gifts can be anything. And I do think that you get to, in a way, define your spirituality. Like, you get to choose how spirituality works for you. So you don't have to do things that you don't want to do. You don't have to be like, some people are really into the woo stuff and they love the sage and the stones and that kind of stuff, but they are not prerequisites for spirituality. You know, like, your spirituality could be a bubble bath and a glass of wine and prayer or whatever, you know what I mean? But taking time for yourself. But I do find it interesting that number is highlighted, and it's like, we really need to focus on spirituality. You know, like, I heard myself.
That was because I flipped. I apparently I have people on my side.
Yeah,
Sorry,
so
go ahead.
focusing on those things, and I think defining a practice and really leaning into faith and you know, getting to know your team of peeps on the other side and that kind of stuff is just so very important this year.
Oh, I think that's hugely important. Hugely important. I had to go into my Facebook site to block people because they're coming off of my page. So and that's where it was like, I went, oh, I needed to like mute on the one. So Very weird. So I apologize. But no, I love that. And I love the fact that where we're going with things, which is awesome. I really do. And I think as a nation, a populace, I think that's huge. Now, what did you mention what the 3 2s are too, other than being a 6, when you're looking at separate 3 2s? I
So
know we
those
joined them
twos,
together, but
that is the balance, finding that balance. And it's actually balance and cooperation are like the two kind of keywords when it comes to the twos. And so like we're actually triple, usually those numbers would kind of highlight it's emphasizing an issue. And like for me, I understand that, like we're kind of triple challenged in this
mhm,
balance and cooperation thing right now. Well, I mean, if you look at the world around you, we are challenged in
we are.
balance and cooperation. So this year, like, I think we're going to be forced and pushed to finding that balance and learning how to, again, like cooperate with each other, being empathetic and compassionate and understanding people's beliefs are their beliefs for whatever you could say about cooperation, which like for me, I mean, I've just noticed a lot of we seem to have gotten as a people very aggravated with other people's choices
Hmm.
and things like that, and it's like, okay, well, so I think that that's going to have a lot to do with it.
Awesome. I love that. I really do. And I love your perspective on that because I'm agreeing with you 110%. You know, I don't know how many times I've heard in my head when I've done readings like this year is the year for so many people. It really is. But I don't know if
Yes,
it's necessarily, and that means something different for everybody. That means something different for
it
everybody.
does. This year is
Um,
supposed to be really fantastic. I
yeah.
will say, like Chinese astrology, the zodiac stuff. It's the year of the tiger, so it really is about not backing down and being, kind of fierce yet gentle. I mean, there's a gentleness there, but it is in the Chinese zodiac, it's actually a water sign, so there's a lot of emotional things that go behind the water.
Right.
So I think we're gonna have this year of ramped up emotions, but it does look, like I said, like with this forecasting thing that I've been working on, it really does look to kind of balance out later in the year. So I'm
Yeah.
really excited to see how everything plays out because it looks like turbulence and those things being shoved in your face that just will force you to do something different.
Hmm.
Those shit storms that spirit gives you, that God gives you to be like, wake up, do
Right.
something new.
Exactly.
Wake up. This is where you should be going. Yes, we're making you uncomfortable because we want you to do something different. So
Exactly.
it's kind of like that.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. So should we start doing some readings here?
Let's do it.
Let's
Let's.
do it. I wanna send some shout outs to some people because I didn't even know where the comments were, and then it's like because it's new, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, it's not new." I just forgot where to look. So from the very beginning, if you're still here, Christy, hello, and Felicia, hello. Felicia was laughing at me, and I think it was because literally I was having a hard time with life. Pamela, hello. Tracy and Sue Langler says, "Hi, Missy."
Hello,
Um,
Sue.
Pamela says, "Good morning, ladies." Michael Christopher. Oh my God, Michael. Hello. I have to have you back on here again sometime. Me and Michael, I'm gonna have to bring him Michael in for a reading show because I'll tell you what, he is a rock star. But the first person here, Andrea Twine. Hey girl, that's me. Will my boyfriend ever propose? I know Andrea, so I'm gonna let you take this.
The very first thing that popped in my head were dollar signs. I'll be honest with you. So I don't know if he holds back sometimes because of the financial aspects of things, or what it might cost to get married or whatever. But it honestly is the very first thing that pops in my brain. So well, and then like a couple other things. I don't think like okay, so not asking you to marry him in this case is actually not a very good representation, maybe, of how he feels. Um, he strikes me as very honest and in his own like. So if he didn't want to be there, he probably wouldn't be there. I guess it's a good way to say it. So I wouldn't. I don't know. I think he views that kind of stuff very differently, and I don't necessarily see it as I guess I'm coming from is sometimes these things can come from a place of bullshit, and these people aren't doing something so good, and maybe they're not very genuine, and there's a reason, like they're stringing you along. I don't really feel that way, honestly. Does that make sense?
It does to me. Yeah.
So I just don't feel like there's any underlying crappy motives there to not do it, other than like maybe some superficial money weirdness or weirdness. I don't know. That's where I'm at.
Just waiting for the right time. Waiting for the right
Yes.
time. Going forward from that.
It's a
You
good,
know,
that's a nicer way to say that. Yes.
waiting for the right time. I think it's more of how long, Andrew, are you willing to stay there waiting? You know what I mean? And if it's a good fit, do you need the marriage proposal? You know, because sometimes, hey, look at Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. They've made it a long time, you know.
I love them.
You know. But I think it's just a matter of timing at this point, and when it's going to be an opportune kind of thing to happen, I guess is my more of my thought on it. So I'm going ahead with that. Who's next? Hopefully that helped, Andrea. Lisa, what if anything has blocked me from shifting from working for an employer versus self-employment? See any financial blocks? You, Lisa, you. And I say that all the time with blocks. I always do. I don't know where you sit with that, Missy, but I always look at, you know what, our blocks always come from us, and it's something that
Oh,
we
yeah.
kind of create ourselves. So it's thank you. I'm actually hearing self-worth, Lisa, like, and I'm not saying the superficial self-worth, because there's so many people that go, you know, I'm worth it, but it's a belief in here to go, you know what? This is something I really want. This is something I no longer want to work for somebody. I really want to work for myself, and getting that vision and understand that money is always flowing to you freely. And you have to kind of change your mindset there. And I know that that sounds really superficial. I know it sounds really kind of like blase, but it's the truth. Manifestation only works when you feel it in here, when you really feel it in here. And it's weird because I keep seeing, oh, can't think of his name. Thoughts become reality. I can't think of his name for the life of me. Famous words he's created. I can't think of it. Mr. Dooley, Mike Dooley I think is his name. Anywhere, but thoughts become reality. So really, your thoughts have got to be on the right page with what you want to go forward through. So thinking about, you know what, changing your own mindset, changing your thought process, going, you know what, I am a self, you know, number one, start the self-employment. I actually kind of feels like it's already on board, but really start going, I can make this successful, and allowing other ideas to come in, to flourish, to kind of become more of what you already have. It also feels like you might have to trim a little bit of the fat off of some things. So it might be things that you're going, hey, you know, it's like if you make a bath bomb, but then you put 50,000 glitters in there, 5 toys, and you're going too much. So it's like cut the fat off, get it down to something more simpler, something that you can go forward with, and realize that I'm seeing a bank. So it shows me that money will be coming in, but banks just represent, you know, money's there and that you can go forward with that. So, but again, I feel like you have to release this on your own. So,
Well, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with wanting financial security. So if that move from working for someone else to working for you comes into I wouldn't call it a financial block. It's more like you want security or crave security, and that's not wrong. And there's
no,
nothing wrong with waiting really until things align, so you kind of have that financial security
mhm.
ish. You know, like I don't know that I would quit my job and just on a wing and a prayer and go, okay, this is,
No,
you know,
I don't
when
think
things
anybody does.
aren't
Yeah.
right. There's one of those things where I think that when we make it to that point, it's so funny. So I'm just going to go into my little story here about driving back from Texas and the Lisa Williams thing, and
Good
you know,
story.
begging. I'm literally begging, like, please do not let me screw this up. You gave this to me. I surrender. You show me what you want me to be doing. I don't know. Your will, not mine. And I come home, and my job that I was working 6 nights a week for at that very point in time cut me down to 1 day a week. And I was freaking out. I mean, I was like, that was a smack to the face. I felt like I had been fired, even though I was kind of fired. Um,
Right.
and I literally heard in my head, like, you asked for this. And so, like, that was a major moment. And I was only going to work 1 day a week. So I wasn't losing a lot of money at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if I do 1 reading a week, I'm going to be okay here. And
Yeah.
then the momentum of those things just never ever ended for me. So I think that there is a point in time that things in essence like just line up. And so I think that the surrender and the trust and knowing when the time to jump is, and sometimes they kind of smack you in the face and force that move. So I don't focus on being blocked, because that in itself is negative. Don't focus on the what am I supposed to be doing, blah blah blah. Just really allow yourself to surrender and be led and guided to the right timing and to the right people and to the right places and to the right things, because that is ultimately what happens. So don't be, at Lisa, don't be in a hurry and don't get yourself down. You're not broken. There's nothing wrong with wanting security. And, like based in an energetic sense, if we're not feeling secure financially and that kind of stuff, then we're actually not really able to manifest abundance. So I don't know. I think you're reading way too much into it. That's what my spidey senses tell me, and all is good, and you're on this path to whatever it is that you're on, and it's all coming. Trust, surrender. It's good.
Yeah, and I concur with that because it's the same thing. I know with my story, when I went and quit my job, I did it over a year period of time. And I didn't even realize that, I was doing full-time psychic medium. I was in teaching and I was still a nurse. And I can remember not letting go of that job, but I didn't pick up a paycheck literally for 6 weeks. I literally had to physically go and get my paycheck because they didn't go to drop,
Direct deposit.
direct deposit. And it waited 6 weeks, and she showed up like, "Didn't you need money?" I'm like, "No, I've been fine." Like my other stuff's been building. And I can remember going, "I'm not gonna retire, I'm not gonna quit." But I went to working like 1 day a month and going and still not picking up that paycheck and going, "But I can't quit my job. I can't quit my job. I can't support myself." Well, and
Yeah.
I've been doing it. So it literally got to the point where and I think that's how sometimes businesses grow. It's just so grow that business, Lisa, just grow it. Like, get it going, grow it. But again, it's like releasing those blocks as you go, because I had that major block of I can't quit the nursing job because it's my stability. I had to realize that, wait a second, there I'm holding on a block for what reason? You know what I mean? So I had to
Right.
like rip it from my chest and throw it away to go, and it's doing the same thing. So build yourself up but realize while you're growing that you can do this. So I think
Yeah.
it's
It's
beautiful.
be content. I think that's
Yeah,
what she said. Whatever she commented, and she said,
be
so be
content while we
content
build.
while we
Yeah,
build.
exactly.
Absolutely. Be
Right.
content. I
Keep
mean,
your
just
eyes open while you're building, because if not, you'll be built and not even realized and doing 60 hours in both jobs going, ah, you know?
but you know what? That's what it took for you to say, whoa, I have been making it. And you were a single mom. Is that true, DeEtte?
I was, yes, I
So
was.
a
I had
lot of
2.
us, I was a
Yep.
single mom too for, several years. And it's one of those, you do just get that is your stability and that is your life. And it's so important. So it's like one of those where, again, trust.
Yep.
This is where you have to really have these moments of, all right, clearly I've been given this whatever. I've been given this idea. I've been inspired to do this. I've been given this talent or this gift or whatever. And really just allow them to take the wheel. And I mean that very sincerely. Like, I have zero expectations with where everything is going to go. I'm so just, all right, I'm letting you guys drive the bus. I'm a passenger, and I'm going to try to do XYZ while you're pushing me to do so. Like, I've just learned to just go with the flow. I'm in a little bit of a shitstorm right now with my business, actually, and I'm not allowing myself to freak out, even though I really want to. It's a fight to not freak out, but
It
it's okay.
always is. And I was having the same, the funny thing is, Missy, because I understand that, because not that long ago I was doing the same thing. I mean, I gotten really slow. I'm like, oh my God, nobody was buying gift certificates. I'm like, what is going on with me? Like, ugh. And I was talking to another really good friend, and she's, because it's no secret, I had surgery back in October, And she goes, "Now I know you shut down. I know you shut down for a couple of months for healing." And I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Did you ever open back up?" And I went, "Oh, oh my God. No, I did not do that to myself." So literally, I just went in, I did some intention work, and literally by the next morning, I had 3 gift certificates sold and like 4 people reaching out. It's been boom, boom, boom. I'm like, yeah, I forgot to put the open sign back on, guys. you know.
I've got all behind the scenes crap going on. It's so annoying. Just blah, whatever.
Well, I'm just gonna put intention and clearing for you so that you got nothing else going in your way.
I love you. Thank
You
you.
know,
Hmm.
always doing awesome. So Lisa did come back with Reiki training courses on Sunday and moving forward on my own as my husband and I working both on a self-employment. Fabulous job, girl. You keep going. Jenna, Happy New Year. I've been recently graduating, will be applying for positions. I'm curious on what type of position you see me having this year and how it will go. Ooh. What are you feeling there, dear? I get it all in my gut. Like it just went in my gut. So many nerves, so many. It went from excitement of graduating to in my stomach and my nerve center of just like, oh my God, what did I do? Where am I going? What do I want to do? You know what I mean? That type of thing is what it felt like to me. Um, and maybe hate to say it, it feels more like you're applying for these positions, but you really are gonna it feels like you'll be going in a little bit lower than you want to be going in and having to build up, but it also feels like your career is gonna go someplace you never imagined it to go. Um,
So interesting because I was like, in a sense, seeing a shifting of gears somehow within the same field. And I don't even know like what you do, so I don't know how that's possible.
right.
But that's kind of where I was heading. It's like, there's this track and then there's this like little deviation or turn in the track. Um, what I find interesting is that connections keep on coming up to me. So like whether this was like networking or people that however this works out. But I think that, opportunities come up from people that It could be in the form of recommendations, it could be in the form whatever. But I feel
Mhm.
like other people have, um, I don't know, a hand in the direction that you're going to be going. And then I also, um, maybe start lower, but I tell you what, like, I think that you, very honestly, like this whole natural leadership kind of stuff comes my way. So I see advancement fairly quickly,
Mhm.
honestly.
I keep hearing heels clicking floors. Heels clicking.
Yeah.
Like
So like
oh,
walking
heels.
across.
Like, it's weird because I first felt it was like I felt like it was more like tennis shoes, but it goes from tennis shoes, into heels. You know what I mean? So it's like starting that lower position, but flipping into heels, and walking. I'm very click. I should probably come back going, I don't wear heels, but I hear click, 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 and then it gets getting faster and faster, like momentum speeding up.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, things are coming. Um, I don't know. Are you looking like out of state? Can I ask you that? Like, is there something that you've looked for maybe more out of state?
Right. Well, I'm looking. She hasn't messaged back, so I hope she's still on to listen. Um, hope she is. Just continue because she hasn't messaged back. Maybe she'll jump back in, but she'll definitely come back and hear it either way.
Well, that's
So
just it. I mean,
yeah.
that there may be a
Oh,
pull somewhere
she said
else.
I had thought of it before. There you go.
Yeah, there may be a pull like somewhere else. Whether or not it lands in that, I think that's just a personal choice if you want to leave the area or whatever. But um, things feel good. I'll be honest with you. Things just feel good moving ahead, and I think that you're going to have a lot of opportunity. I think that you've somehow, again, like other people, I don't know if you've just impressed other people. Like, did you do really good in school? Did you whatever? Because I feel like there's a networking. Like,
Mm,
oh, this job comes up. Oh, I'm going to tell Jenna about this job. Jenna would be
right.
perfect for this. It's like a great fit. Like I know someone who can handle that. I feel like that's almost been like she set that up for herself somehow. And so
Right.
I think that that's what's going to come.
Right. And I agree with you 110 fold. And it's really weird because when I seen the tenor shoes, it was almost like nursing or medical, but then it flipped into like lawyer, law, business, and it was like going back and forth, you know, and I'm like, I don't know which way she's going with this. But it does feel as if the longer I sit with it, it feels much more like business type orientation is what it feels like. I don't know if it's like lawyer or business or politics or what this is, but it just feels like it is a moving upwards and moving up fast. And she did say she's thought about staying in the state for baby steps. You know what? I agree with social work. I agree with Missy very much, Jenna. I think as you climb, I'm seeing you kind of flip out of state either way because I'm not going to take back when I say the political because and I don't know how social work would work in that or if it's just going into more state work, like working for the state versus working like small
Sure.
level.
Yeah.
Because I am seeing state buildings. I'm seeing the state building. I'm seeing those state hallways, if that makes sense. You know, those
Yeah.
old-fashioned hallways.
Yeah.
I'm hearing that clicking of heels or clicking of shoes. So I have a feeling, Jenna, you might start small, but I have a feeling, you know what, like Missy says, you've impressed somebody and you're going to be working up that avenue and going into more of a state job, working through social work than just working, say for, on a smaller level. So expect that ladder to climb up, but also keep that avenue open for going other directions. So, and I keep hearing state law, state law, state law. So I don't think it'll be right off the bat. I think I'm projecting a little bit further out here, but I would not even put it past that you may not work on some projects to change some laws in the state for maybe some things. So, because I'm hearing state law. So, go have fun. Either way, go have fun.
Yeah. Go have fun.
Go have fun. Go do what you're meant to do.
It's all good.
Thank you. It explains why I kept getting medical and I kept getting legal.
Yeah, because social workers work in
it was like
both.
together. It was like together on some aspect. I'm like, I don't know where I'm going with this. Sue Langler, wondering what the new year has in store for me with health and love and career. Jenna says, thank you and appreciates us both. I just hear Kalukukaracha. What is that? My song? I mean, that's like
Traveling.
in my head. When anybody's like
Cartoons.
have a lot of good things coming, it's like, let's party. Lakukaracha. Do 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 do.
All right. So
I'm just gonna have Todd make that my theme song, I think.
that would be a good one. So basically, DeEtte is seeing lots of good things, partying and having fun and that kind of stuff. And so I actually, when I think about it and when I think about you, I think this is the year of like endings just being complete endings, like all of those things that have ended. So like whatever's going on with the health and stuff like that, I do see a road paved out. And so I see room for improvement. I see room for, change and stuff like that. I do think that there's a little bit of a challenge in there, maybe to dial in the right things. But the good news is that I see that the shifts are possible and they're kind of like right there. And so I think that that's really important. Like, some people, like, there is no shift in their health issues that they have. It's just kind of static and it's staying put. And so you don't really see this room for improvement. It's just kind of there. With you, I actually see a room for improvement. And I think that that's coming. And the rest of it for me is just about really stepping into these new beginnings and like the past actually being in the past. So just being done with all the crap back there, just allowing yourself to like, step into these new things and stuff and fully embracing it and it being really, really good.
And I think the reason why I'm hearing the song Lakukaracha and the fun aspect, I don't think I don't want to pull back on good things happening because I think they are. But I do also believe it's about just kind of sitting back and starting to have fun. It's almost like, hey, you want good things, you got to again change the mindset. You know what I mean? You got to flip it a little
Yeah.
bit. And it feels like, you know what, you might, I don't want to say get uptight, but you don't let yourself be free flowing and have fun and just, like, oh my God, this is going to be fun. Sometimes, you know what, I'll tell you what, and this is sometimes you have to kind of just change that perspective and look at things from a different point of view. Um, and I do come from a very strong Reiki background, and in Reiki, it's, we do unto ourselves. We do unto ourselves. So if we're having health issues, we brought it on ourselves. You know what I mean? And I know that sounds like, oh my God, how can I? But sometimes our bodies are telling us, hey, you need to take a break. Hey, you need to rest. Hey, you need to have a pajama day. You know what I mean? You may have to have a lot of things. And sometimes it's us having to look at ourselves and go, you know, kind of switch our way of thinking, our perspective on things. So yeah, so 110%, literally play that song or any happy music you have, play it in your head and start having fun with this, because life is not meant to be hard. It really, even when you have really hard stuff going on, like, oh my God, this is crazy hard. Sometimes, you know what? You have to have fun with it. Like last year, and it keeps showing me last year for myself. I got COVID last year, and it wasn't like, I mean, I wasn't in the hospital, thank God, but it started at Christmas and it didn't end until the end of January. And and a lot of the symptoms didn't end until May. But I'll tell you what, I at first I was feeling like, oh my God, I'm sick, I'm this and that. I got this. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? But literally, I kind of looked one day and looked at me. I was like, well, is this what I had to do to get a damn day off? I just had to get sick. I just had to, Spirit was like, you need to relax. You need to take a step back. You need to think about you. And as soon as I changed that, my thought and my perspective, I started to feel better. I started to let more information in, and I started to make more plans. And then it was when one of those things was having fun. One of those things was relaxing, let life happen. So yeah, stop being hard on yourself with everything. So start having a blast.
Yep.
Turn around and kiss the guy in the picture. I don't know. God, I hope it's not your brother.
But that is not her brother, no.
Turn around and give him a big kiss.
That is the funniest shit right there. That is hilarious that you said that. But see, and that's what I see. Like, I see this opportunity to really let those things just be behind you and moving into a space of, damn, this is where I'm at and it feels good.
Right. And it's
That's
because
what
I
I
pulled
see.
a card for her, and I haven't done it yet, but I literally pulled the card. It's the Athena, the knowledge card. And when I looked at it, I was just like, God, this woman's got so much grace. But that owl, and knowledge to me is wisdom. When I look at this, it's just wisdom. So take the wisdom of everything you have done. And part of wisdom is literally knowing enough to smile or laugh at yourself, knowing enough to look at stuff and just have fun. Knowing enough that, if you're dead set in a career and you don't like your career, look at what your career entails and what other things you can do within your career. So taking that wisdom and just running with it tenfold. Okay. Hey, hey. I like it. I like how we talked all that much and she just rang it up with so hard to let myself go and enjoy. It's like, yes, but you need to do that. You need to do that. Some people say it's time to put your big girl panties on. Take yours off. Have fun. Hang them on the pole. Laugh at yourself. Have a good time.
Have a good time.
Sometimes it's time to pull them up, and sometimes it's just time to take them off. So,
I agree.
Mary, any news for me would be appreciated. Fox 10, I don't know.
Oh, I just now got that. I was like, what is that? And then I'm like, oh, Fox 10. Hello, it's a TV
Fox
station.
10, Fox 6, Fox on Channel 3. I don't know. Every state has got a Fox channel, I think, and a news channel. They just number them different. So
right,
any news?
so let's think. Well,
it's really weird. I got the same song, much softer, and then it went ha 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 ha, like she would laugh at me with that one.
See, and honestly, like, I just feel like I'm trotting along life's merry path, and
Yeah.
that's where things are. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Trotting along life's merry path. Yeah. I don't feel anything like earth shattering, and I don't feel anything, certainly nothing bad. I honestly have this
No.
very content and just kind of consistent and just kind of, which may feel a little boring in its own way. Like, I guess, like, just feel like I'm rolling through life and life is good. And I really do feel that way.
I do also. I will also tell you, Mary, I see your picture and I'm assuming that's an assumption that you're in a relationship. But I will tell you what, if that's true, I don't even if it feels like it's an older relationship, relation that's been going on for quite a while, it feels like you're kinda in your own thought process, like going back to being the maiden within your relationship or being that younger. So it's like, I don't know if kids are growing up and moving out of the house, things are changing, but it feels like there's some excitement coming in to that relationship. Excitement, looking at things from different point of view, with different eyes, okay? Um, and it's not that anything is changing. It just I don't know what is my theory the whole theme today perspective. I don't know what this is, but it feels like you're looking at
Everything.
things from a longer or a younger point of view. Like I've got the wisdom, I've got the knowledge, but I'm seeing joy in things. So it doesn't feel like a whole lot of things are changing. It does feel like, some things have happened to where, maybe you're looking into your husband's eyes and you're just, you're really feeling the love you have for him and your eyes are glowing from that. But it feels more like feeling more youthful, feeling more that type of thing. But things not really changing, just maybe how you
Yeah.
look at them is.
Trotting along. And it
Yeah.
feels, I mean, it's content. There's no bad feeling there for me at all. And just to back up
No.
what she said, I actually pulled a card and it's the spark card. Spark. So, that
Spark.
really is just like finding your spark. Maybe that is like, finding the spark within your relationship or finding that spark
Yeah.
within yourself or just finding something that you love to do that you can be even more content with. Um, I don't know. I got nothing bad. I
Nothing
don't.
bad.
Well, and not that I usually do, but I just
I
feel
do
content.
if I have bad stuff come in, it comes in. I won't I'm not we already know I have no filter, you know what I mean? So if it
Yeah,
comes in, I give it in the best way I possibly
feels
can.
good.
Or, that there might be some hiccups, but I'm not feeling anything necessarily bad. I don't feel anything get knocked off that path. I just feel it's more like rekindling
Yeah,
sparks, rekindling a love for
yeah.
a job, rekindling a love for a relationship, rekindling that type of thing.
I do think I said at some point it could feel a little boring at times.
Yeah,
I think that came out of my mouth, and so
and it could be.
I think that spark card is perfect. Like
Yeah,
find something that just makes your soul sing in some kind of a way. That could be any multitude. That could be honestly like binging
anything.
some Netflix. It could be so many different things. Like just do things that you enjoy to do,
Yeah,
and that's it. There we go.
110%. 110%. Hopefully that helps, dear. Hopefully. Sounds really vague. We apologize, but you know what? It's really what's coming in. Molly, wondering how 2022 is going to go for my family. Um, Go ahead, darling.
Really, I was just thinking in general that 2022, my whole spiel from earlier kind of comes up. And, knowing that this is the year of vision and the year of, what is your vision for you and your family this year? And really, taking the steps to get there. So I think a lot of, planning, a lot of figuring things out. Like I actually bought myself this handy dandy planner that, and everything is in it from vacations to budgets to what I'm going to accomplish around the house, blah 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 blah. And then is honestly like what I see flash in my head. So what are your visions for your family? And I think making those things happen is the goal of the year and innocent for everyone. So what
Mhm.
visions do you hold for yourself, for your family, for your children? And I actually did this for my kids too. Like, I have a vision as a mother for things that I want to help my kids with this year. So while they might not have their own, I mean, we tried to set New Year's resolutions with the kids. But I have New Year's resolutions that I set for my children. In the mom spot. I did. So I have things that I'm going to make sure that I'm doing with my kids or for my kids or pushing my children to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I say. I think, let this year really be that year that you allow yourself to get a hold of things and
Mm-hmm.
do the things that you want to do.
Right. I'm also seeing a lot with communication because she hits me. Molly, you feel like, because it's no secret, I got a little things in my body when I feel things for people. I feel like you're a person that really has no issues with communicating too much. Like, I don't want to say you put it all on your sleeve, but you communicate. I do feel like you'll be working on more communication this year. Um, so it's kind of like, uh, you know, well, she just posted like I'm considering going back to school and not sure if time now is the time. It feels like that's something. I will tell you, it does feel like it's a time. It does feel like it's a time for you to do it, jump into it, and go for it. I do feel like you'll actually start in the fall, not now. And even though you have probably a couple week or so before that session starts. But I do feel like it's a communicating your needs, so it's like you already have this great communication, but it's like, hey, I know this might weigh on the family. I know this might weigh on us. I know this, but this is something I need to do for myself. And it feels like you need to kind of open up that communication and then go forward with that. Okay. And I feel like everybody will bust around you just to kind of pick up the slack and help you, be a success for that. Okay.
And I think it's always, like what pops in my brain with the schooling is, sometimes it's great just to like dip a toe in the water and see how it goes. So maybe, start off with a class or two and not this overwhelming, like, full-time schedule with full-time rigor on top of work, home, family, all that kind of stuff. So I think just to, take your time really feels right to me. And the schooling thing goes perfectly into that vision for yourself. What do you want your future to hold?
Right. That is very true.
And taking the steps to get there. So the school falls in line with that pretty darned perfectly. Just saying.
Yeah. Kim Willis asked if you will share your journal. She would love to get one.
Oh my God, you guys, I am obsessed with the Passionate Penny Pincher. Do you guys follow the Passionate Penny Pincher on Facebook?
No.
So they have just an outstanding business model. They started this passionate penny pincher thing. She's just a mom. She grew up with a mom who was a single mom. And so they came up with all these recipe plans. So they've got the slow cooker meals and the freezer meals and the whatever. But they literally just, they have planners. They share like, links for big savings and deals every day, and all of these things. I love their menu plans. I love how they're focused on family. I love how they're focused on home. I love how they're focused on empowering women. They definitely focus on God. Like I actually, one of my things for myself this year, and I've never really done this, but I bought myself a New Testament journal thing. I am going to be studying the Bible this year more than I have ever in my adult life. But it's something I don't feel so compelled and drawn to do it. So I got that from them too.
I've done it. Trust me, I got mine as all highlighted, different color coded highlights.
Yeah, well, these guys, so like they actually give you a journal and like this focus on, yeah, I know. So the Passionate Penny Pincher is where I got mine. But it's an entire system. And so it's got like my January goals. And my number one January goal was to actually use my planner because I'm really good at buying these planners. And then, I use them for like a week or two and then they like collect dust and I don't know,
I love it.
My goal is to use my planner for
I
January.
love that. I think I got to make a planner. I make things. I've only done like 2 or 3 now. And I put them on Facebook or I sell them on Amazon. Nobody's bought one yet, but they will. I know they will.
I didn't know that you had any. That's so funny.
I do. They're journals basically, but I'm going to make more, I think, because now you're inspiring me to make more. And I can't find a pen to write that down. There we go. Found me a pen. This is my journal.
Girl, I have a wall of Post-it notes. Like, literally, I'm staring at a wall of Post-it notes right now.
I love that. I love that.
I love their business model. I'm not kidding you. I just love them so much.
I actually went on there while you were talking. I'm like, I'm so bad. I'm like, Facebook, passionate. And I joined the group.
Yeah. I mean, it is like
Join
so
the group.
fantastic. They do videos all the time of like what they're cooking, and
Ooh,
and
very
I
nice.
love it.
So Vicky puts in here, what do you see for my spiritual gifts growth? I'm going to let you answer this one because I know her and I don't know if she'd believe me. So I'm going to have you answer it.
So what are you going to allow yourself to grow with, Vicky Chaperdia? Chaperdia. I love your name. I feel like I could just say that all day. Vicky Chaperdia. Chaperdia. So, I mean, really, what are you going to allow yourself to grow with? Earlier, DeEtte talked about dabbling and how, like, you know, you have these things where you dabble in thing to thing to thing. Like, I mean, I've studied energy healing. I've studied, quantum physics. I got into, you know, just like all sorts of different things. And I don't actually see that as a weakness. So, like with you, I almost have this squirrel feeling where it's like, oh, but then this, and then, oh, but then that. And I don't think that you believe what you know. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, we have these people who they study, and then they have this feeling that they never know enough. And it's like, you actually have amassed quite a bit of knowledge from what I'm understanding. And I think it's just allowing yourself to implement and trust and that kind of stuff. So, I mean, if I could give you a recommendation, Vicky, it would honestly be to trust and surrender. I think like that is my theme, you know, it's like trust and surrender, where it's like, you know, trust what you know, and allow yourself to be again led and guided to those things, but trust what you know. Your age, Vicky, okay, so you know, I study a lot of stuff, and I think that you do, unfortunately, like we have these generational kinds of things, right? And I don't know if you're like a Gemini kind of a person, or I don't know what you are that way, but I know that you came here with these. I think that whatever it is that I'm talking about is kind of an innate personality trait that you have. And these innate personality traits, like your numbers, your astrology, that kind of stuff, whatever sign you're born into, you're born with those certain personality traits. Whatever number you're born into, you have those personality traits, and they're either to the negative or to the positive, right? And then we live life, and life happens, and it shapes our beliefs, and it shapes our issues and how we feel and that kind of stuff. And generationally, like you're raised in that guilt, shame, embarrassment mentality because that's just your age. I mean, that is the generational issue of your age group and mine, actually, partially. So, I mean, honestly, I would recommend getting your natal chart done or doing a deep dive into numerology so you can really see these positives and negative aspects of yourself and really living in that awareness for a while to help you move into a different direction. I think that awareness is like so important. Like, you know, for you to say, man, I'm holding myself back. And this is normal for me to do so because I was born with this. It's like, oh, okay. So now, like, you can say, well, shit, I'm holding myself back again, and then fight your way out of that. And you do have to fight your way out of that, just so you know. It does not come super easy. You got to say, okay, I'm doing it again. And then, you know, you got to do it.
She is
Okay.
amazing. Trust me, you just nailed her right on the head. And she is amazing. It was funny because I was speaking with her and a few other ladies last night, and I had them introducing themselves. And I'm like, you know what? And Vicky could teach me because I know how much knowledge she has in her head, you know? So I think you nailed her right on the head. So I
Good.
hope that helped,
Trust
Vicky.
what you know, Vicky. Trust what you know, and just allow yourself to go with it. But again, there's some things innately within yourself that is actually holding you back. I think a natal chart would be fantastic. What sign are you? I don't know much about astrology. I mean, a little bit. I know enough to be dangerous. I'm very interested to know because I really think that you're going to find a lot of answers there if you haven't already.
Which I think is funny. You've brought up astrology, what, 2-3 times now? tomorrow, for the first time in my life, I've got an appointment with a second generation astrologer out of, I believe she's out of, she's a Pisces, um, out of, I think she's in, I don't know, Las Vegas or something, but she's doing a whole chart on me, which is super cool. So
You'll have to pass her info along.
I definitely
I
will.
love astrology. Like, I
Oh,
love getting those charts. They reveal so much truth. So you're a Pisces. That's, I don't know. Are you a March or February Pisces? Because that actually does matter, I'm learning. And then it just does. I don't know.
I love it. I love it. What are you trying to find? We got another troll, and I'm going to jump
Hello,
on it,
Michelle.
and I'm going to lock him for life.
So then, Vicky, you know, your sign can definitely keep you in that, you know, daydreamy space. But, you know, again, that generational kind of thing that I was talking about earlier then may fit just a little bit more. But, well, I don't know. There's something very innate within you to, I'm going to call it like a form of self-sabotage in a way, you know, because it's just not trusting yourself. And sometimes when you can't trust yourself, I think that you can trust your team of peeps instead, because they have all the trust in you that you might not have. So just saying.
I love
Okay.
that. I love that. Beautiful, Vicky. Hopefully she helped you, okay? Michelle says, "Hey, Missy, do you see a job change, move, baby in 2022?"
I know, Michelle.
You
So
know Michelle?
I'll let you think about that.
Okay. Okay, with Michelle, right off the bat, it kind of hit me in my mouth, really hit me in my mouth, and like dehydration, actually. It was really weird. All of a sudden, it's like, need to take, I feel like I'm hitting the baby thing. Okay. It's what I think I'm hitting. I'm thinking I'm starting at the end and moving my way back the other way. So I feel like with your own health, it's like, if you want the baby, it's get on that healthier bandwagon. I don't know if that makes sense for you, because I'm really feeling like if you want that, you have to gear your body towards it. Okay, that's the first thing. So, and I feel like if you do that, I'm hearing, if you do that, baby will come. Baby will come. Okay. So it does feel like it's going to go in that direction, but it is about, taking care of better yourself. I'm feeling like water and like minerals, nutrition type of thing to kind of bring into you. When it comes back to job change and move, um, well, I feel like, especially with both of those, it feels like it's a little stagnant for you. I feel like you're wanting to kind of go forward with some things, some ideas. But at the same time, it feels very stagnant for some reason. I'm not sure if you're just very uh attached or wanting like tied to both of those fields, because it feels like you're not quite kind of wanting to move from where you're at. So it's like, even if you're like, I want to move, I want to move, I want to move, it's almost like you've tethered yourself there. Okay. And it feels like you've kind of tethered yourself to a few things in your life. Does that make sense so far, Missy? Because it just
Yeah.
feels like a tethering, you know what I mean? Like, you could be boisterously saying, I want this, but you've really tethered yourself to the ground. Like, you've put a harness around your belly and you've thrown it to the ground, you've tied it down there, and it's like, it's just, and you've shortened it. So every time you say, I want to move, I want to do this, it almost shortens it or tightens it to where you're at. So I'm going to let you know, if you want to move, it feels like you got to kind of reach down and unclip that, and leave the harness on. You can always tether it someplace else if you feel like you need that security net. But it feels like you've been working on like that root chakra. So it's about knowing that, having that security, really having that security. Um,
I do
I
want to add, like you had said
Go ahead.
something about the health, you know, bringing your body into that as well. I'm going to tell
Mhm.
you to tell your husband to do that same thing.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you, I do feel like there's a definite change coming in. There is a definite change coming in, and it is going between job and move, job and move. I don't know if it's so much the move as it is the job, okay? Because I do feel like the move is something that, I don't know why you feel secure there, but it just feels like you're tethered there right now, like you don't. Like you'd like a new place, you'd like to go, you'd like to do this, but you got a whole lot of reasons to stay there. So it feels like the change might actually be in the job
Yeah,
itself.
it's comfortable.
Yeah, it's everything's very comfortable. But I will tell you, even with a job, I don't necessarily feel like you're leaving a company. It might just be a change within the job, okay, or change within the network of what you're doing, okay? Because Missy hit the word right on. You're comfortable. You like what you're at. You like what you're doing. I'm also going to tell you, if I'm correct and the baby is coming, that might also be the change in job. You know, it might be taking it back, coming back and saying, you know what, things have got to switch a little bit. So go back from a health perspective and then move forward. And I think you're going to see a lot of changes. I'm also seeing a lot of walking with you. So I don't know if you've already got on a walking plan. This is not like hardcore cardio. This is just walking. But it feels like that's because I'm hearing that's a challenge for you, like to get up and just get out and go walking, like that's a challenge. So it feels like you need to get a Fitbit or a smartwatch or just a pedometer or whatever and start doing that. So incorporate the water, incorporate some steps, move it up slowly. And I think you're going to literally walk yourself into some changes like of reality, like, oh my God, I can do this. What else can I do? Because you got yourself out of one comfortable zone, put yourself in another, and went, wow, this is amazing. And then see those changes happen from there. I think not this year. I think I'm looking more into 2023. And I know we're projecting out there a little bit, but I'm seeing once you make all these slight changes this year, next year is going to be your year for change. Like next year is going to be the year where, like, okay, I found a new comfort zone. I found I can do different things, you know? And it feels like at that point you'll have to grab the hubby and untether him and take him with you type of thing because it feels like you're both kind of stuck there. So hopefully that helps. I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
No, I love it. I think that is pretty spot on and perfect. I think the husband is important here too somehow. So I would just say make him do that stuff. That's all I got, really. But the
Yeah.
rest of it, you're comfy and there's nothing wrong with that. So, like, waiting for that moment. I guess for everyone, there's no have tos for the most part. Like when you have to do something, damn it, you're going to know it because you're going to be doing it. That's like how that stuff works. For me, um, I just think a lot of things we should be focused on our desires and our wants. So if you're finding that you're not happy in your job, you don't have to leave the job, certainly. But um, if you're not happy there, then why would you allow yourself to go to a place that you're not happy at 5 days a week? So
Mhm.
I think like, really allowing ourselves to focus on desire and focus on like, I'm really not happy here, period. It's like, I think our emotions tell us everything. If we're not happy, something's not right.
Right.
And we need to do something so chase happy and know that that's okay. Like you're safe to chase happy.
Exactly.
That's for everybody. Chase your happy.
Love that. Love that. Okay, next one is from Joy Dittman Leisenfeld. Leisenfeld. Do I
Listen,
need to sell my house for my retirement? I heard no.
I did too,
No.
but I
And
know
I
you're
heard,
gonna try to
why
flip
would you
it.
sell your house for retirement just to go someplace else and pay more money? Like, you're in the cheapest bet yet already. You know what I mean? Because like right now, the housing market is not for people to live
Buy,
cheap.
selling
It's
is
not
good.
about it's a seller's market. It's not a buyer's market. And yes, you would sell your house for a lot more and get a lot more money. And I know that feels like it's something that's like, oh my God, I could easily retire. But then how are you going to live and where are you going to live afterwards? Because all of a sudden you're going to find yourself doing two part-time jobs versus one job and just and hell upside down. I'm literally seeing like the Wicked Witch of the West, and not saying that you're the Wicked Witch, but I'm seeing like the house has landed on you and your feet are up in the air. So it's kind of like, okay, I sold my house to retire, and now the new place has just smashed me. And all I can do is, ankles to the ceiling type. God, that sounds bad, but ankles to the ceiling because now my house has crushed me. My payment has crushed me, and I have to go back to work. So I'm going to tell you no, 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 no. I will tell you, it feels like you will retire from what you're doing. But I'm also hearing you're going to do joy after that. Joy. So I'm going to tell you, it feels like you're going to retire. Life is going to be great. But I also see that you're not a person to retire. You know what I mean? So you're always going to find something to do. Like you're not going to quit working. Even if it's like, oh my God, I'm going to be one of them, a librarian, and I just go and read to children or whatever it is. You're not going to retire. You just don't have it in you just to quit and walk away. So I do feel you're going to be following, like, kind of tailwind of what Missy just said, following joy. So you'll find other things to do that are going to be happy and joyful. Like, and if they give you a paycheck, oh my God, awesome. Go be a Walmart greeter. I don't know. But but something that just gives you that happy joy feeling. And I feel like that's a retirement for you. Like that's actual retirement, finding the joy in life, because I feel like you had it. I feel like you have a lot of joy. I think you have a lot of passion, but I don't necessarily feel you have the passion anymore in what you're doing. So
So
let go of that and move on. Yes. What? Do not
I
tell me
just
she
had this.
Walmart.
Is it Beth Dutton? Is that her name? Beth, who's the lady from? I think it's Beth Dutton. So I would love Joy. I would pay money to see you be a Beth Dutton Walmart greeter.
I love
I'm
it.
literally like I'm over here just like laughing so
Is she
hard.
over rolling on the floor too? You know what I mean?
Probably,
But
probably like that would be the. I would pay to see that. That's hilarious.
yeah, but you know what I mean? It's that something that you could just go. I always laugh because I don't know about your Walmart. My Walmart has got some really kick-ass greeters. You know what I mean? Like we had one, she's not working there anymore. God, I miss her. Her name was Val. She was freaking awesome. But you never knew what you're gonna walk into because she was clearly a retired lady, but she had dyed her hair blonde, and but she would have pink streaks in it, or
Oh,
antler ears in the middle of June, or never knew what she was gonna do. She was over the top. She was fun. It was like, this is a lady that was born to be a Walmart greeter or a greeter of anything. You know what I mean? Because you just wanted to go there because she was going to be there.
yeah,
And I feel
yeah.
like that's where joy is heading. Is that something where I want to be there, so I'm willing to have fun. I'm willing to have a great time, and screw it, I'm retired anyway, so why not? You know what I mean? That type of a thing. So
I love
trust.
joy. I mean, so when I think about joy and the retirement, I think um I just feel like things are safe, like maybe more safe than or than you feel actually. It's probably this feeling of, ooh, if I retire, well, it is just a frightening kind of proposal. I understand that. And so, but all I can tell you really over and over is you're safe. Everything's going to be okay.
Mhm.
Um, that's how I feel. So chase your happy. Go be a Beth Dutton Walmart greeter. I'm gonna. You guys, that's so funny. Okay, but anyway, this is how I feel about Joy. She's one of my most favorite peoples, and I mean that wholeheartedly. She's fantastic.
I love
I
love
know.
I love that. I'm asking our producer, Todd, here if we need a break or not. He's not answering me.
Oh,
You
maybe
know?
he took a break.
Maybe he took a break and forgot to tell us. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. The wife has been gone. He
That's
says,
true.
"Oh, we are way past that." Ellen, he just laughed. He's like, "Go for it." Okay, so we done screwed up. Guys,
Sorry.
sorry. We had one in the beginning. We're good. What's the next question, Todd? Crystal Gilbert, any guides for me for the year? I love her Facebook little thing, Be Still and Know. I love that. I'm like, trust it. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
be
I just
still
feel
and
so much
know that I am with
so
you.
much everything. Like, um, go ahead. I'm typing.
I'm formulating my words right now.
Okay.
I think that your words that you have on your Facebook thing are perfect. There's one of my favorite verses. Is one of my favorite um, promises. I feel like that we've been given is be still and know that I'm with you. And I think that is just so important to hear. Like anytime we're going through times, right, and just lifetimes, so we just have all of these things that are going on. And so I think really practicing that faith and really relying on it. And I just hear so like crystal clear in my head that it's like, you've been given challenges to kind of prove to yourself. You've been given things that kind of have been put in your way very intentionally to help prove to you that you can do this, to help prove to you that this is okay, to help prove to whatever. Like, I feel like your life circumstances to a point have been proof. Truly, that's how I feel. And so I think like use that knowledge or that whatever that you've gained from those situations, move it into 2022 and really allow that to shape you. I feel so very determined, Crystal, when I think about you, like honestly. So I feel like I'm going in with determination. I think that you probably actually, because I feel that way, I feel like you actually have this vision of what it is that you're wanting and where it is that you want to go. And I'm just going to say, go grab it, Crystal, go grab it. That's where I'm at.
Love that. I love that. You know what? And I'm agreeing with Missy 110% because it was like I started going to this calming feeling with you, and it's just um you inwardly know. You know where you're going. You know what you're doing. You know, listen to that gut. Listen to that gut. I know that gut for you sometimes kind of holds you back. You can almost feel this like, oh, I don't want to go. But instead, turn that into a power to propel you to go forward with it. Turn it into a strength. So when
Yeah.
you start to feel that feeling of, oh my gosh, I can't do this, just ride the wave of it. See what happens. See what happens and go with it. Ooh, Carissa Corbine. I love this lady, by the way. I love her. So, Missy, you get this one. It says, Happy New Year, ladies. In 2022, the year for some big changes like relocation love is 2022.
Relocation or love. Okay, so Chris, I'm right back at the same spot. Like, do you want it to be a big year for big changes in relocation and love? So again, chase your happy, go out and find those things. The relocation, sometimes relocation is fantastic, and sometimes we're doing it for like a fresh new start or something. But it's one of those things where all of the all of our crap just follows us to our new location, and so I don't feel like you're full of I don't feel like you're full of crap. I can honestly see that you've worked through um, a whole lot of stuff, and I almost feel like I should be patting you on the back a little bit for how far you've come and how far you've made it. Honestly, like I feel not that I'm not really planning on going here, but a very strong male kind of a vibe to that pat on the back, like girl, you're just really doing good. So that the relocation and the stuff like that, I think it's more of a, do you want to do that? And the love thing, you kiss a lot of frogs. There's a book. Sometimes you got to kiss a lot of frogs to like meet your prince. And so maybe there's been a lot of frogs out there. I honestly feel a little torn on that one with the relationship thing. Do you ever find yourself in a space of not really knowing if that's what you want is the relationship? Do you ever like find yourself in that space of like, I don't know, have you been single for a while and have kind of fallen into a spot of
She said,
independence?
LOL, lots of frogs.
Right. But like there is also like that time where it's like, is it really worth it to commit? Like me and my husband joke all the time. Like if him and I didn't work out, we've been together for almost 20 years. If for some reason things didn't work out, we joke, I would never get married again. And I love being married. I love my husband. I love the partnership and the team. But I don't know that I would ever do it again. And I know that sounds terrible. But I mean, I don't know. So like there would be this independence that I think, I don't know. Am I making sense, DeEtte? Can you like formulate
Yes,
these words better than me? It's one of
it
those
does.
like, would you really want to be tied down? Well, and that's not what I mean either. Some people want a partner, someone to go do things with, someone to travel with, someone to be there for them without having all of the other things that go along with that, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
She's single for a long time, and yes, content. Yes, content.
So it's like sometimes we want that person with no string, and it's not even a no strings because it's not a commitment issue. It's just more of a, I don't know, having to worry about someone else's things all the time too. That does not feel super appealing to me when I think about you. I don't
Definitely
know.
somebody that would compliment her and not hang on her.
Right.
That type of thing. I
Yes.
also see, and Chris, I do see this for you, and I don't know if it's going back to Washington or where it is. I do see movement. I don't know if it's you moving though, okay, but I do see movement, okay? Um, again, I still see you very much planted in your home, like this is your place, your family's there and all that, and I know you would still get up and go, but I do feel like movement, she says, "Yeah, sharing my space kind of freaks me out." I can understand that.
Yes,
But I
that's what
do
I
see
mean.
movement, so I don't know if you have some trips planned to, like, Colorado and Washington, but I keep seeing Washington, I keep seeing that snow and that coastline, that aspect. So I don't know if you have more trips planned there or ideas of going back to the East or to the West Coast, but I'm seeing more movement for you around. And I do believe that's probably also with your career, kind of like, where am I gonna go next? What am I gonna do? And kind of going that aspect because I feel like you're in a holding pattern right now. I mean, Chris is like one of the most intelligent women I know. Oh my God, this woman's got some brains and some intelligence and holy shit, um, and degrees. Oh my God. But I just see more movement, and I think it's within your career. I think you might be adding even more information. So I don't know if you're looking at even furthering that career of yours, or I should say furthering the degree, or what you're doing. But I'm also seeing an inspiration of your brother. So I don't know if his inspiration is inspiring you to kind of push forward and do more and kind of get out there more. Okay. Um,
Back to the relationship for me, the relationship in relocation. I do want to say this. So everything that I was saying really comes down to this. Again, we're in this 6 year of vision. What is the vision for yourself? And it's like, where I know that you want the relationship, I think you fight the relationship at a same in the same breath, because it's like sharing my space freaks me out a little bit. Doing this freaks me out a little bit. So you're putting out there that you want this relationship, all the while feeling like sharing my space freaks me out a little bit. You know what I mean? So I think it's like taking some time to maybe clearly defining what it is that you're looking for within a relationship. Very much like defining that, because it's like that whole traditional, weird kind of, I don't, there's just something there to me that I think that I don't know if you want what you think you want at this point, or, that kind of stuff. So I would do a little bit of reflection there and just be like, okay, what does my perfect relationship look like?
mhm.
And that kind of stuff. And the relocation thing for me is really just a matter of if and when you're ready to go, like, that would happen. I don't feel like you are easily intimidated. I don't feel like you have any issues being independent. I don't feel like you have anything that's actually holding you back from doing that, outside of maybe it's just a timing thing, and the spirit just hasn't moved yet. But when the spirit moves you, you'll just go. Just saying.
Right. I'm also seeing, Chris, I keep seeing Shane in my head. Um, so I'm almost wondering if one of these trips you're going to take is with Shane, and Shane's just a really, really, they're like best friends. And it feels like a soul searching type of thing. You know what I mean? Just kind of like going for fun, but it ends up being really soul searching, to what you want to do and where you want to go at this point in your life. There's only up, and not that you're down by any means, but just kind of, yeah, current job is temporary too. Yeah. It does feel like, Crystal, like you just need to kind of do some soul searching right now. And like I said, I do see it's like you and Shane. So I don't know if you two are planning another trip over to like Washington or over that way together as a friends retreat, but it does feel like it needs to be like a soul searching for yourself to go, okay, what do I want to do? What do I not want to do? And what's your next step? Because as we both know, you've never had anything that really said, hey, I have to do this, because you're just such a free flowing person. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully. We got time for one more question. One more question. Oh my God, we've had so many come in today. This is so amazing. I love this. Okay, Angie, or Crystal comes back with definitely feel like that lately. Yes, yes. Beautiful, hon. Angie Webb, I'm always been interested in herbology. I love saying herbology because it just feels right.
I'm
I'm
gonna say
wondering if
herbology because I'm
it's
a Harry
herbology
Potter
or
fan.
herbology. Yeah. I'm
I don't
wondering
know.
if I should get formal schooling. Yes. Sorry. Yes. I'm sorry. You take it from there. I just heard yes.
Well, I mean, I'm the weirdest person to ask this question to because while I think that it is so important to do that, it's just or important, and I don't know. I just have very weird thoughts about that. My own personal viewpoints are you can and you certainly don't have to learn a whole lot. And
Right.
so if you're someone who needs that formal training and it helps you to feel like you know enough and it helps you to whatever, then by all, and I think that those formal classes actually push us, to be a part of, a team, hopefully, or to, learn more, to perform more. It kind of sets in a commitment to the course that you're taking and stuff. So I find it to be really beneficial. And then I know people who are like, I can't afford the school and it stresses me out and I don't have the time. And it's like, well, then just go on to Khan Academy and learn some stuff.
Right.
So I think, Angie, I'm going to say an absolute, if that is something that you are interested in, then you should absolutely learn about it. And right now, I'm looking at your mask picture, and it's like how great to offer some alternative treatments for you and loved ones and that kind of stuff by learning those things. So I think that it might be a comfort to you in a sense to learn about those things and to be able to utilize those things. So I'm going to say go for it.
Yeah. And you know what, the formal, because I mean, we both know I love formal. That's what
Absolutely.
I do.
And I do too. I don't want to bash it,
Mm.
but it's like, so I hope I didn't sound like I bashed it.
No, not at all. Not at all. My thing, I think, with the formal was more of, because you can learn so much on your own. So much on your own. But I feel like going that direction, even if it is going just online and doing, less than I shouldn't say less than a certification, but not a certification program. But I'm feeling like you're going to learn a lot more than what you thought you could. You know what I mean? So it's like you're going to learn a lot on the internet. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like you go left and right. Whereas if you go into more formal or somebody that's kind of got the lesson plan, it's gonna like you're gonna get all this, and then it's gonna spark interest in even more, and you're gonna then squirrel off here and there, and it's
Right.
just gonna start to really add to you.
It's
So
a
I
well
feel
reasoned out lesson plan taking you
yeah,
somewhere. I agree. Yeah.
yes, and that's the way I'm seeing it. So it's like, yeah, go get the formal because I feel like, it's going to, like Missy had said, it's going to put you on that more structured, I'm going to do this, blah, 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 and go forward. And then boom, all of a sudden, you know what? You're doing so much more than you thought you could. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And go in that aspect. So that's my take on that one. Okay. Oh my God, today has been so much fun, Missy. Oh my God,
I
it has been
agree. I love doing these. They're fantastic.
you
Super
know,
fun hanging out.
I love this. I just super, super love this. You know what? I could do this with you every single week. You know, like,
It would be fun.
just kidding. I
It'd be
could.
fun.
Missy's
Do
like,
lots of,
be fun.
I would
You
do
know,
it.
here, we'll find out we're on your own. We'll end up with another show just doing readings. It'll be awesome.
Girl, I've really been like, I have to do this. I have so many things that I want to do and I just haven't done it. And I'm in no hurry.
Right.
But I really, yeah, I want to do some
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. We can always go this direction. It's not a bad, we'll have to talk. We'll have to sit down and go, what do we want to do? You know?
Yeah, I'm like dreaming up lots of fun stuff. Things have slowed me down though. It's really interesting. Like the timing of weird happenings. You know, I had all of these like grand plans, and then it's like, well, taking steps back. Here you are,
Yeah.
and you know, these are the spaces, you guys. Again, we are. I know. I've just been through this enough times to know that where I'm at right now is exactly where I'm supposed to be. Like, so, like these little blockades that kind of happen are a lot of the times they're so very intentional, you know.
Mhm.
So like I'm in this space of not really freaking out that these things have happened. It's more of a, oh crap, okay, I'm just gonna roll with it, and I'm not letting it take me down. And I think that is like what I would like to leave with everyone today is like, you know, life happens, but there is a rhyme and reason to those things. Pay attention and just allow, ask for help. Dang it, ask for help first. You know, like when you're communicating with them and saying, hey, I don't know why this is happening to me, but I hope that you show me. Eventually, you're going to see the whys behind it. And you're going to
Mhm.
be like, oh, damn, if that didn't happen, then these things wouldn't have kind of come up. You know,
Yes.
so I think it's just really important be in that space of accepting and allowing and trusting and surrendering and that kind of stuff. You know,
110%, 110%, you know, and like Missy says, the energies these days have really been kind of like all over the
weird,
place. Weird, all over the place. And
weird.
you know what? They have been for quite a while. And I will tell you what, they have been for quite a while. And it's really going to be your take on how you move forward with those things. You know, for like myself, I just decided when everything, I'm like, I'm going to just go balls to the wall. I'm going to start figuring out things. I went and started doing some having some hypnotism sessions, dealing with past life stuff, you know, to deal with present life stuff. I'm going towards to get the astrology, you know, chart done and the reading with that done, you know, and it's it's some of those outside things because I have a hard time sometimes sitting in my own crap and wallowing in it and pulling
Yes.
that out, you know what I mean? And I've done a lot of that, trust me. I mean, we can go back to Chris. Like, I love her. I love Krista because she's been on my path for so long. And she was part of my path and my life fell apart. It was like, oh my God, is anybody ever going to talk to me again after that couple of years? Because I was not myself at all, you know? Um, so I don't do well with sitting in sorrow, you know, but I do well with realizations and revelations, you know? So I've been, you know, this last year has been a whole lot of kind of sitting back and not pushing forward. 2021 for me was not pushing forward. I was just it's been a nice staple. It's been a nice security zone. It's been stagnant, for lack of better terminology, a lot of it was. And towards the end, I went, you know what? This is a year for me. I need to make some changes. I don't like my weight. Let's change the weight. I don't like this. Let's change this. Has any of been easy? No. But I can tell you what, I'm going to just keep pushing through. And I'm using every single resource I have to go, let's do this, you know? And sometimes that's what we have to do, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's because it's my timing. It's my timing to do that. It's not everybody's timing to do this right now. You know,
And
you gotta
timing is a thing. Hear that too.
yeah,
Timing is absolutely a thing, and
yeah,
it is divine. Like we
yeah,
are, there is a time for us to do this, a time for us to hold back, and so listening to ourselves and our own, you know, innate knowing in our guts. You know, like that, trust your
mhm,
guts, they're smart. That's a Missy Hart comment, but it's true. Like trust your guts, they're super smart. Trust your body, it talks to you. Trust things that are coming your way. Trust your emotions and
exactly,
what they're telling you. If you're not happy, something that there's a ripple in, in the force that needs to be addressed. If you're not
exactly.
sure what you want, then you know, sit and find that vision for yourself. And like I said, 2022, that's all about finding the vision for yourself. So this is a really great year to go for it. It really is for whatever. It's just, but we have to find the vision first. It's so important.
Exactly. So how can they find you, Missy? How can they find
Oh,
you?
I am so easy to get a hold of. I'm on Facebook, all over the place, Missy Hart Intuitive Medium. And you can always find me on my website at missyhart.com.
Love that. I love that. Everybody, thank you so much for joining me and Missy today. This has been a blast. Trust me, this is not her last time. This is the very first of the year. You know, I don't even tell Missy. We do collaborate a little bit. I more like tell her I'm gonna have you on here and here and here and here.
It's a Monday morning. I'm like, I'm free. I'm free.
She just knows. You never know. Missy, come. Missy,
I'm
come
here.
on, please,
Yep.
please. So she'll be back much more often. Next week, I do have Deb Roselle. I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna love her. She's my hypnotherapist, guys. I love her. She has done.
I want to do that.
Oh my God! Go to my website, DeEtteRenee.com. I actually have her on my website now, where you can click on that, get to her to get hypnotherapy done. So, I mean, and she is just, there's so many great hypnotherapists out there, but she's a rock star. She's just like, boom, taking me to some depths, realizations. Yeah, I'm addicted now. I'm addicted. I can't help
Dang, girl, I got to do it. Okay, I'm looking.
it's awesome. It's awesome. But Deb will be on next week. And you know what? Just sit back and watch, because I'll tell you what, her story is freaking rocking awesome, and how she's gotten to where she's at and what she does now. And it's awesome. So she just does a lot. It's awesome. So, okay, everybody, thank you so much. I will see you next week here on Schooled Thru Spirit with WLTK-DB.